Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here, I have created our mobile view, right? So for the mobile view, when you click at this part, then that will be loaded in particular that position. That means all that our menu will be loaded in here, right? So we have to put some of the action in particular this button. That means when you click it, then that will be open. That means our nib open CSS will be executed. And when you click it on here, then another class I have already created as a nib close, right? So there is a side nib close will be executed. So we can actually do that work very easily. If you go our nib mobile menu, into this nib mobile menu here, I have already created one of the button. So that is our button, right? So into this button area here, I want to put one of the on click function. Okay, I want to add one of the on click function as a on click. I show you everything will be more clear. It's very easy. One of the process I want to apply. I want to change that CSS by this action. That means this button action, right? Here I want to create one of the method. Okay, I want to create one of the method. I just want to name it as a, we have to use it also. So I make it as a this, and then the menu bar click handler. This type of one of the method I want to create. So if you want to create it, like there is our component, right? After that component, here we have to now execute some of the work. First of all, I want to take one of the constructor. That will be as a constructor, and into this constructor area we have to load everything. Like first of all, I want to load our super class. That is a super. Okay, super. I simply load it. And then I want to create some of the two of these states. So if you want to use that state, that will be as a this and then state, right? So this state, and into this states area here I want to declare two of this property, because I have to take two things. Okay, for the first time, that will be our this as a nib, that is side nib close, and also for the first time our content overlay will be as a close, right? So for the first time, that means when it should be loaded first, our this part will be not display, and also overlay will be as a not display. So for the reasons I want to take two of this property, like here. Okay, like here I name it as a side, side, I name it as a side nav state. Whatever name actually you choose, I name it as a side nav state. So into this side nav state area, I want to declare. Okay, I want to declare first of all our which CSS object will be executed. That will be executed our close. That means side nav close. Okay, so now I make it as a side nav close. Right, friend? I hope it's very clear. And also I want to do for the first time our this part will be executed. That means contain overlay. There should be no overlay. I want to use this one. So I take another property. I name it as a contain over state. Okay, this type of the name I just simply take. And then our CSS for the first time, that side nav close, this class will be executed, and contain overlay close will be executed. Okay, so I simply take two of this property. Perfect. And now I want to create one of the method. Okay, I want to create one of the method. I just name it as a side and side nav. Okay, I name it as side nav open or close. Open or close. I name it as open close. Okay, open close. So this type of one of the method I want to create. And also here I want to declare one of the array function. So I simply loaded that array function. So that is our array functions, right? So that is the array function. Perfect. So I simply loaded that things in here. And also we have to create another two of this method. Like here there is a menu bar click handler. Okay, when it will be executed, what exactly that will be do. Here that will be actually two actions, so we have to create two method. I want to create one method as a menu bar click handler, and also I declare on the array function. Okay, so here that will be as a array. Okay, array function. Array function. So if you want to use that array function, that will be actually like this way. So I loaded one of the array function. I name it as a menu click handler, and also for the close, also we have to take another one. And I take another one that will be for the overlay, right? So that is one of the sidebar, and also another one is the overlay. Also we have to take another one. So for that I want to create another method, and I just name it as a contain. Okay, contain overlay click handler. Okay, I name both of these as a overlay handler. I hope friend you understand that part, because there is a two part, right? When so for the first time that will be not display, overlay will be not display, but when you click it on here, then our this part will be executed. That means there is another class. I have already created this class as a this side open will be this class will be executed, and this contain overlay open will be executed, right? So simple work actually. For the reasons here I take both of this. In particular that area, what exactly it should be do, like there is a menu bar click handler. So when you click into the menu bar click handler, then that will be executed. What that will be executed our this method. So into this method area I want to put some of the actions. So first of all, when you click in here, okay, that means when you click this button, this method will be executed. So I want to do and to load this method in here. So that is into the this and then our method name, right? So I simply loaded this method name, and also when it will be click it again, then our another functionality, so that will be also same, right? So that is actually menu click handler. Here I load this our method, this for overlay. For the overlay I also want to load this same method. So I simply loaded the same method, okay, this, and I loaded on the array function. So that is our open close nav open close. So now we have to put some of the action in here, that means in our this method area. So into this method, first of all, I want to take both of this. I want to take our this side nav close and this another property name as a contain over listed, right? I want to first of all take both of this. I show you. It's very easy, not much hard. I take one of the one of the variable name, whatever the name actually you choose. So in JavaScript, when you use another variable, then you have to use that as a let, right? I use that name as a side, okay, side nav. Okay, I name it as a side nav state. So I name it as a side nav state, this type of the variable, and here I want to access our state. That means these states and this one I want to access. So if you want to access it, that will be as a these states, and then that is our property name, right? So now I want to use it. So that will be as a these states and then our property name. So I want to access our this property. Perfect. And also I want to take another one for take our overlay. I let one of the variable and I just name it as the contain over state, okay, over state. So over state, and here also I'm going to take it as a this and then state, and this state and our this property name I name it as a contain over state. So I want to take it, okay. I take both of this, in particular that position I take it with this variable, and here I take with this variable. Perfect. So now I want to put one of the condition, okay. I want to put that condition because here we have to check it, like when you click it in here, this menu will be executed, right? That means this menu will be appears. So here that is actually so that is our methods. Into this method area, after this I want to put another if condition. I simply loaded that if condition. So that is our if condition into the if area, okay, into the if area. So that is our condition. So into this if area I want to do if our this side nav, okay, this side nav, when it will be equal, I want to use 3, and then when it will be equal our class name here, that will be when it will be as a open. So I want to make it as a side nav open, okay. So when it will be as a side nav open, then what exactly you have to do? You have to make it your another part as a side. This nav will be as a close, and this overlay will be as a close, right? So now I want to do the same things. That means here with this here I want to pass it in our states. Here with this, that is a set states. Into the set states area, that means from here when you use that as a set states, means if you pass this data in our this states area, okay. So now I want to pass it from here to the set states area. I want to pass it. I want to pass our then our side neighbor. That means there is actually side nav states. This side nav states, okay. Here I want to pass it, and then that will be pass as a close. So our close means our CSS name as a side nav close. So then that will be actually pass that side nav close. And also in our another property, there's I have already take that in our states as a contain overlay state, right? Also here we have to put this condition on our contain overlay. Here I want to pass what? I want to pass the same things. I want to pass it as a close. That means the contain overlay will be as a close. So I copy it, and then here after that I simply pass it. That is our contain overlay will be as a close. Okay friends, that means when our this class as a nav and there is a side nav open will be executed, then our states, that means in our set states, with the set states method I pass this property name here, that will be changed. That means this CSS will be changed, and that will be actually the side nav close, and our this part in our over, that is a content over state, and here it should be pass out this CSS class as a content over close. Right, perfect. And else, so I make it as a else. Okay, ELSE. I make it as a else. Else it should be actually do that another things. Here I want to do the same as a these as a set into the set states area. With the set states, I actually pass both of this property value. So there is one property value before I pass that in our property value with the set states in our for the side nav states. So that is our side nav states before I pass that class name, that is our CSS class name, as a close, right? So now that should be what? That should be as a open. Okay, so that is the same things. Now we have to apply. Better I want to copy total things. Okay, I copy it, and now in our sales states I paste it. So into the states area, now in our side navigation area, into the side navigation area I want to pass our another class as a side nav bar will be open. Okay, and also in our there is a content over state, so there is a content over state, this CSS will be changed. So now this CSS will be as a content overlay open. So now that should be as a open. I simply add both of this in here. I hope friend every line is very much clear to you. Now if you want to check it, here it's not showing on the error as a content overlay close is not defined, and also content overlay open is not defined. Why? You can see that is one of the CSS, right? So that is not that function. So that is one of the CSS. So here we have to add it into the second quotation. So here I updated, and that is also updated, right? In our with the set states method, I pass this nav slider. That means the nav that is side nav state. So that is a side nav state. This CSS will be updated. So before I pass that as a nav, that is a side nav close, and the content overlay will be close. And else it should be I pass with the set states method in our this states area. Our two of this property object will be changed, and then it should be as a side nav open, and then another content overlay open. So that is actually the error. So now if you click as a save all, and now I want to refresh it. Yeah, now you can see everything is working perfectly. Great. Now I want to actually execute it, both of this. I want to execute it. Here I have already added that on click function, that is on click our function name, which is totally fine. Now we have to update this part. Here I want to do right now, I don't need this. I want to actually load on the menu in here. So I remove everything from to this position, and also there is another div, I remove it. Okay, so now there is one div and there is our another one. For the first time, as I told you, everything I have already set up in our states. So now I want to make it as a dynamic. So I want to close it. Here I want to load, I want to access our these and then state. Okay, these states, and then I have already created our property name for the our this class as a side nav state, right? I copy it. So that will be as a side nav and the state, and also here I want to change it. Here that will be another one. I want to change it, this class name. I remove this, and then that will be this and state, and this state I name our property, my property for the overlay as a content overlay. So it should be actually function, every function is in here, right? So all that function I have already done it here. In here, when it will be a side neighbor will be as a side nav open, then that will be executed. It will be make it as a close, and then overlay will be as a close. Else it will be as open, and the overlay will be open. Okay. So now I want to run this. That means here states I want to use that our this overlay states, which is totally fine. And also when it will be as a close, then I want to also execute it. I have already created another method as a content overlay click handler. So when it will be click, with this click also our this layout, that means our overlay will be removed, right? So now I want to execute this one. So menu bar, so that is a menu bar. So that is a menu bar, and that is another portion for the overlay. So now I want to execute our overlay. So here that is our div. I want to use it another on click. On click okay, on for the on click into this on click area, that will be this, and our this method name as a content overlay click handler. Simply loaded that things in particular that position. Okay, here I simply load it. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you go now refresh it, so now you can see friend, for the first time it's not open. That means right now everything will be more clear. So you can see for the first time I make it as a side nib close. So that means our this class will be executed, right? Our this class will be executed, which is totally fine for the reasons there have no sidebar and also there have no overlay. So for the reasons you can say I use it as a content overlay close class CSS. So that is for the close, that will be as a display none, right? Now I want to do here, I have already added another condition. When our side neighbor will be as a side neighbor open, then you can see our side nib as a close and content overlay as a close. For the reasons here they have no sidebar and also they have no overlay. But when you click it in here, yes, you can see now that is open. That is our neighbor open and also overlay is executed. That means else it will be as a side neighbor open and then content overlay also open. That means our these two of this CSS class is now executed. Okay, perfect. And when you click it again, so for the reasons here I am actually creating this method. So on the on click, so there is a content overlay click handler, so then that will be executed. Okay, so that will be executed. So that is our method, and this method then will be gone here, and here I load our this method. So that is our side neighbor method, and here I put that condition. So now everything is worked perfectly. Yes, you can see when you click it, it's open. When you click down, it's totally gone. Perfect. So I want to load our total menu in here. Okay, that means our menu, if you want to go here, I want to create another menu. I didn't create any menu, so I will create another menu, that means mega menu for the mobile. Then that will be actually better. Now our this part, I hope it's very much clear to you how much easily we done this work. So it's very simple. One of the condition with this condition, that is I have actually applied this condition with the CSS. Okay, so I simply run the CSS, everything is looking great. So in our next video I want to do here, I want to load our menu. Okay, that means for the mobile I want to create another menu, and this menu I want to execute it in particular that position. So in particular that position, whatever the things you will add, then that will be executed. If you now click as a save all, I'll click as save all. Now go there, you can see now that is actually visible. So here I want to create another menu. So when it will be into the mobile view, our that is actually our desktop menu, right? So this desktop menu I don't want to visible it in here. Our mobile, for the mobile I want to create another mega menu, then that will be actually executed. So how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.